Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey. Hi. Hey.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hello. It is the video. What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on?
Hey.
Welcome to Let's Talk Love. I am your favorite prescriber, Mizz Love Doctor. While we get ourselves together.
Pick up the pieces.
I need some lip gloss and everything.
Oh, I didn't even put nothing on. Dang it.
Pull it up. More.
How are y'all beautiful people doing today? Y'all ready for a good show?
Let's go. Listen, we had to get ourselves together today. But I am Mizz Love Doctor, and this is my beautiful co-host.
Beauty on the beat.
Let me get my little lip gloss on, you feel me? We here on the hottest, sexiest station on the planet.
Hottest.
What is it? It is hot.
Hottest.
Like, bro, I'm like, okay, so raincoat this day, jacket the next day. Now we need a damn swimming pool all over again. I was like, it is hot as hell outside.
Slipping
so we might as well come on here and tune on in to the hottest station, Hot 702.5. Are y'all ready to talk some love with us today? So, but thank you for tuning in. And of course, if nobody has told you guys today that they loved you, we definitely would like to be the first.
Oh, my bad. I'm always going too fast.
And well, you say yourself then.
I love you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah, so
I gotta go slower.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a couple. No, first and foremost, happy 8/23/23. I was like, this might be like a little.
Oh, it is 2/3/23.
This might be a little day with a little bit of a,
It's what's the name birthday?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
8/23/23, and his number was he 23 or 24?
Don't have me lie to you.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. He was 24.
Okay.
I should have knew that. But I was just thinking like, okay, it's 23. But anyway, so how are you? How are you doing? How was your week?
My weekend.
Did we see each other all week?
Yes, we did, girl. You remember my bruise? I'm still
Girl, that was last week.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Okay.
What happened with your bruise?
This girl got me slipping and sliding up and down that. Trying to do a slip and slide, y'all, okay? And I was the first one. Don't speak these things into existence, okay? I'm like, we're too low. Somebody is going to fall on their ass.
We said it. We knew it.
I said it. And it was me who did it. I said, ain't that about a bit?
Yeah. We knew it was too low. We was testing things out.
And when you let your body, like, my shorts were protecting me. Now, what I wanted to do, slide them motherfuckers up. As soon as I
Slip
did
and
it,
slide.
as soon as I did it, I was going so fast. So fast. But I had a great weekend.
I was able to
Hell yeah, that's how I felt. I felt my big ass rolling down
But we had a good time.
in the rain.
I kept telling my friend, yeah, because it was raining and we were like, well, we're getting bread anyway, so we might as well, you feel me, go ahead and play in the rain. I mean, why not? But I was cracking jokes with her. I was telling her that this was her initial jump in to the outside kids.
Oh my God, y'all.
What you always say, you wish you was an outside kid. You wish you would have met us when we was younger. You wishing all these things.
Yes.
Now you been jumped in, you know what I'm saying? You got a little war womb and everything. It's not funny, y'all. The only funny part is I know her, and I know that she's so like, ow, ooh, ah, ooh. So for
it's
her,
hard for me to, once I feel pain, I don't want to get no more, okay? You know, I'm like, I'm one and done. I learn from other people's mistakes, too. I mean, if that looked like it hurt, I ain't even going to put myself in the position to even try. I feel like that's wisdom right there, okay?
What we gonna do that for?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. But you was a good sport.
I did.
You didn't want to go back down again.
No.
Oh, weenie. She ain't even go back down again.
But I went a few times before I hurt myself, and I had a good time.
But when the pain came, it was
it was a wrap. Exactly.
But yeah, it was a good time. We was celebrating Granddad's birthday, and we was really conflicted. Like, are we gonna stop? Cash in here laughing at y'all.
Cash, thank you for being there.
They said we going in and out. I don't know. We'll check our connection on this end. But yeah, it was a good time. It was my granddad's birthday, which, you know, people who know me personally knows that he passed away. So we was going to celebrate him with a nice big field day. We had a whole lot of stuff planned. And then our little weird hurricane or tropical rain or...
Hillary was all over the place. That girl was getting on my nerve. That's what
I guess. But, you know, we sat there for a second with everything packed up. Like, so do we want to cancel it? Do we just want to come to the house and chill? Like, what do we want to do? And we was like, okay, let's go outside. We already had barbecued. I barbecued that morning, so we had food. We was good to go. We had a good time.
It was.
And then it turned into a big ass water fight, and now they want me to plan one. They like, no, like, we need to make a flyer, tell everybody pull up and let's just get at it. And because I kept saying there is no water war. Like, it wasn't supposed to be a water war that night, but you know, people was doing what they was doing. And then it just went down.
I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm glad.
You hear that, Cash?
I don't like to get hit. I don't like
the way water guns.
The way people was coming in drenched, soaked, like
from water guns. Not what are you getting hit with? Water. We gonna get your ass. She's first on the list. So
stealth mode.
She still she want to be an outside kid. So
okay.
Like, welcome into the outside.
When I go to Miami and be outside, that's where I'm gonna get
sponsors. Always stand on beat with hair and makeup. Beauty on the beat.
Hey, y'all.
And Keys Royalty House of Love. Y'all know that. Where love is the key to restoring, repairing, and rebuilding from within. An essential relationship coaching where we establish the foundation of the relationship and we reconstruct that thing, create a new foundation. Keys Do Love Mommies, nonprofit organization, create a village of healthy parents, empowering healthy children. Now, this Keys Do Love Mommies whole mission statement has a whole lot to do with what we're going to be talking about today. I didn't realize that until I just looked at it. But definitely creating a healthy village of healthy parents so that they can be healthy for their children, so we can have healthy children. Because let's just keep it a buck, like it's a ripple effect, and it's way worse than Hillary's act. But if y'all want to tune in on the conversation, you know what I'm saying, log in. You could call in 702-551-5261. We love to hear from you. It's a safe space. And
always
Basically, no, keep it classy. But anyway, so the topic of today is,
it's a good time.
Gentle parenting.
Y'all ready for this, y'all? Y'all ready?
We got 2 parents already in the room, so we need more parents to come in the room. And it would actually be beneficial if you have your kids come into the room, because they have an output or input or insight that, some parents might have forgotten about because they're older now, or anyway.
True.
And so, since we have put, it's 5 o'clock somewhere on the little story, we had decided that we gonna cheers to the parents out there. Shout out to y'all, because you guys are amazing.
Thank
for
you.
everything that you do. Like, no small thing goes unnoticed. I don't know, I still call superheroes, especially because of the women, and no shade to the men, but when I watch how women do things and articulate 57,000 things within one day and get it all done and still try to make some time for themselves, that's heavy. That's heavy. So we're going to make sure we tap on what's going on with that. But my whole thing was, they said we breaking up at every other word.
Aw. Maybe it's the air.
I don't know. You can hear the air, but it shouldn't be that we're breaking up. All right. So, Beauty always be sending me all these 151 videos, right? And there was this one. That was this one particular one, and she got mad because she couldn't find it in all the 5011 videos that she sent me on all the 5011 accounts and inboxes, and they had the nerve to be like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, oh, really? Is it now? Is it ridiculous?
Yes.
Yeah, so, but this particular video, I happen to have already had looked at for some reason.
Yay.
And I don't know if I seen it somewhere, or I seen it when she sent it, or there was a lot of conversation behind it. And typically when I look at a video or I look at a post, I don't read the comments too much, because everybody has an opinion about every goddamn thing right now. And but this one, some said, read these comments, and it was of a child who pretty much tore his mother's house up. Tore the house up. And when I say tore the house up, broke the countertops, toilet seats, mirrors, TVs, dressers, holes in the walls, doors, tore the house up. When the first part of the video is stated that he did it because she took away his video game. And once I kind of looked in there in the comments, of course, a couple people was in there like, you need to beat his ass. You need to beat their ass.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, there is some validity to that. You know what I'm saying? But then also, what really wowed me and blew me away was the people who were like, you should just call the police and let CPS deal with his ass. So you want to put their child in the system, because now you're at a point where you can't handle them.
Yes.
You're at a point where you can't handle your children. So you're like, oh, well, let's just let the state, in the same state that motherfucking well don't want nothing to do with you or your kids.
They want your kid, but they want it for a different reason.
But for dollars.
Yeah.
But the kids as a ward of the state, like, listen, it's not a good place to be. So why would you just automatically tell them to throw their kid away? Now, this is a serious thing, though. This is a serious issue. And it's almost to the point where children don't know how to handle being a child. And I say that in a sense of, first of all, we're in a world where now everything is so sensitive. Everybody's so sensitive. Everything is so, you offended me and that hurt my feelings. And you know what I'm saying? I'm never like condoning bullying or anything like that, because bullying, it does create like an alternative long-term effect. But what I'm saying is, like, we used to crack jokes all the time. And you would crack your joke. If yours was funnier than his, they laugh, and then you go on. But now it's totally different, and then you got to think about what isolation does.
Man,
it's a form of punishment.
Yeah.
So a lot of these children are dealing with society. Mm-hmm. Do you know, like I just said, we were outside kids. Like, to stay in the house was punishment. Mm-hmm. Outside was life. Now for these kids, going outside is punishment.
Yeah.
And staying in the house, and they're not even in the house like playing. They're on the game or they're on their phone.
Yeah. Well,
and guess what? Their parents is on the phone too.
Yes.
We're not gonna skip over the parents. So the crazy part is when it comes to the methods of teaching children coping mechanisms and growing up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You got teaching them respect and how to properly discipline them. You know what I'm saying? Now we got this thing with the gentle parenting, but we can't make it seem like gentle parenting just came from nowhere. And I didn't even think to go look up the stats and the facts on the date of when. Remember, you couldn't whoop your kids no more. And it was like, soon as you couldn't whoop your kids no more, you had all these issues within the school. Once you have all these issues within the school, that involved, you're trying to figure out with my child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, what we're going to talk about today is the utilization of gentle parenting methods versus old school methods, right? Period. Which one is more beneficial? Can we incorporate the both of them? Or is gentle parenting the way we need to go? You know?
I think so.
So, you think gentle parenting is the way to go? Okay, we're not going to get into it. I'm going to ask you. Yeah. I'm going to ask you. Well, I guess this is almost where we at, where I'm getting ready to ask you. But, because in my opinion, gentle parenting is some new age shit. And it's some new stuff that I don't think they fine-tuned enough, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to be necessarily this lax ass parent.
Yeah. But
it also means that you know it's supposed to soften and make it so that it doesn't have a negative impact on the child's mental health of how you do discipline. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So, making sure your child has some sort of fear or respect for you has been proven to somewhat be effective. We know that. Right?
Yeah.
And parents now are afraid of their children, are the same ones who saying that you shouldn't put fear in your child. That's not right. You shouldn't want them to fear you. Now your ass is fearing them. You hear me? So let me tell you, if you want to run around your house, I wonder how we turn out. Like, if there was gentle parents out, right? How would I have been? How, what difference would I be? You know what I mean? Like, or am I better off because there was more disciplinary in the home? Even though I think like there's different compartments, of course, of like the non-gentle parenting. There's different compartments. So we're not talking about straight up abuse. We're not talking about negligent parents. We're not talking about that. We're talking about parents who definitely was like, no, like, you're going to listen to what I said because I am your mother and I know what's best for you. Because if I don't know what's best for you, how do you know what's best for you? That's what a parent is there for. They're not there to really be your friend. Like, hey, this is my kid and he's my buddy and he's my pal and all that stuff. But it does make you wonder, like, if other parents would have utilized a different sort of parenting, how would their child turn out? So, of course, I do want to know, like, where are you on this topic?
Well, for me, the more that I have been learning about gentle parenting, I wish that I would have done it sooner. I have my own issues from how I was raised. Issues with my emotional regulating and all these things, because that wasn't taught. It wasn't. It was like, do as you're told. Don't say anything. Stay in the kid's place. Even though I had real adult issues going on.
Adult issues. That's a whole different ballgame.
Right? Because the adults in my life was not providing, keeping me safe. These were real adult issues. So if you come into someone that has like, hey, you already have issues, and then they want to, be really stern on you and different things like that. The things that I didn't want to yell at my kids, and I find myself doing it. I find myself when I'm frustrated. It's me. I'm frustrated because this is something that's happening in the day that I got other shit that I got to do. But then it's like I have other things, but now I have to stop to discipline you. I never believed that whooping every kid's ass was the best thing. I tried to figure out who my kids were, how I could effectively discipline them. But if I wish I would have known about more like, hey, it's okay for you to feel overwhelmed. It's okay for you to feel scared or afraid. Like, let's work through it. Tell me why. What's holding you, what's holding that fear back? So I wish I had a little bit more of the gentle parenting in the forefront, so then that way my kids could have more understanding of their emotions, so then that way they can articulate how they're doing and how their mental state will be.
You said gentle parenting is not new. I'm 43 and my mom was a gentle parent, and I'm pretty fantastic and respectful.
Okay.
Now, honestly, I could see that there were several gentle parents probably back when I was younger, but you saw more disciplinarian parents than you saw gentle parents. And some kids didn't need you to be that authoritative type of parent. So if you had a parent who was already emotional intelligent, then that's a whole thing. So you got to think about generational. Yep. You know what I mean? So her mom taught her this, and then her mom taught her that, or his dad taught him this, and it flows until somebody wants to be the one who decides to stop it. But if you think about it, like if we were all raised in that type of environment, what type of community will we have?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just off the simple fact that I said that bullying is a thing, you may not even been no bullies.
Yeah.
If they weren't taught to be bullies.
But we were taught as well. What did we do in order to be in submission? Even in slavery, we knew the tactics that were taught to us. We brought that fear to our children.
Which is definitely generational for sure.
You feel me? So it's the same thing. So it's just
I'm gonna whoop your ass. Yeah.
We knew that pain was going to equal you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn not to question.
Is it always physical? Is it always physical? No. Like I've not had business. No, damn well. I didn't get whoopings a lot because I didn't do things to get whoopings. But I got whoopings because that's what was going on. You get what I'm saying? Like my brother could do something and we all get a whooping. I'm like, well, what the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? But I literally, like, I'm definitely a lot like you. Like, I don't want to get hit. So I wouldn't do things purposely to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And another part of me feel like, well, damn, maybe I should have rebelled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But no. I
got my ass whooped a lot. I ain't like it. I ain't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that. Again, when someone is frustrated because I didn't do it the way they want it done. You feel me? Or I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
I get that, and that's why when I'm teaching my kids something, I want them to do it multiple times. I want to be like, you need to do it a few more times.
That's definitely in here. Because she knows that's a pet peeve of mine, that when parents be like, well, you should know. No, how should I know? But let's go ahead and define it so that we can know exactly what we're talking about. So according to Mala Family, Child and Family Institute, gentle parenting, also referred to as positive parenting or conscious parenting, is evidence-based approach to raising happy, confident children. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a story after this. They say that you are still to implement discipline, but at an age-appropriate way. Facts. I definitely agree with that. And which teaches them the valuable lessons in life versus saying, don't do that, you'll get in trouble. You're teaching them, like, if you do these things could happen. Which is a valuable lesson to teach, because there's things that happen in life. And if, you know what I'm saying? So not to go too far ahead, but yeah. So I agree, because this one grinds, that's what I'm saying, this one grinds my gears on the fact of, like, you get a parent and they're like, oh, okay, well, they raise smarter than their age, so they teach them, they treat them as if they're older. Or you told them, like you said, to wash the dishes. You showed them the one time, and you're expecting them to get it 100% every single time, but then you're still at your age still making mistakes. Like how should they know something and they're new to this earth, in this world? And
yes, I even had to, like, today, just say, hey mom, I woke up late, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the bus. Let me know that. I feel like y'all don't get y'all asses whooped, so why y'all scared? Why y'all when I see have a conversation, my kids hate it because I want them to, like, find the premise. What am I talking about? What do you think I'm trying to get you to get out of this?
They hate it now, but they're going to love it.
They're going to do it when
they're going to love it when they get older. Because I do watch some of the ways that you talk to your kids and how you implement different stories, and it made me think, like, that's kind of dope at a young age because of the conversations that y'all able to have. So that makes sense. Being able to open up and have these effective conversations with your children, I think, is the first step and very key, because you're letting them know, like, hey, communicate about anything, but these are my rules and my boundaries. We could talk about them. We could talk about them for sure. You know what I mean? Because you have this autonomy of life that you're working towards anyway. So let's talk about the different styles of parenting before we discuss.
Oh, I remember we had Cash on here from when we did the different parenting styles. When we talked about hey Cash.
But we got to bring it back because so you got permissive, having a low expectation for the child, that you don't discipline them at all. Like, it creates issue with rule following. Once they get older, it's harder for you to set a foundation for them to act while they're in their adolescence. They start talking back, disrespecting parents, tearing shit up, fighting their parents, shooting them over video games. And I'm talking about real life stuff that you saying. They still saying we breaking up. I don't know.
Sorry, guys. Thank you for all the technical difficulties.
I don't even know what button to push. So, now you set rules but never enforce them. No consequences. These are the ones that's trying to be in a friend role. Yeah. Like, I want to be your friend, and the kids end up struggling academically. They have health problems is what they say, and of course they don't follow rules.
Yeah, the parents who try to, like, they go into 4 different restaurants because everybody wants something different. I'd be like, what? Or they're, like, they want to be their friend. So even though I was a kid and I would see a friend and they could have a guy that sleeps over, I'm like, but you're only like 13, 14. Like, how you get a boy to get to stay over, And then, like, the parents get mad when they start having kids. I'd be like, you allowing this?
Yeah. I can't believe she's pregnant.
I'm like, bro.
I can't believe he got a baby on the way.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. And like they say, like, raising a child is not for the weak or the faint. And people like to have say that all the time. People like it's different.
Yes.
Like, maybe and they think it's cute and dressing the baby up and all of that. Like, how are you raising this child? Let's talk about it. It's whoopings. Child should be seen and not heard. Strict forces on raisins driven, high achieving children. But I could see that. I could see it in a positive way.
Yeah, but I was
not
like
that way. Rules are my way or the highway. Don't take the child's feeling into consideration at all. They create negative consequences such as anxiety, aggression, depression, self-esteem, poor academic performances, drug use, medications, etc.
Damn. You see that?
It's a ripple effect.
That's a lot.
It's a ripple effect. How you raise your child is the type of adult that they will become. I don't care what nobody said.
But I also just saw the things as an adult that we don't accept. Like, if I don't accept that I am, like, have low self-esteem or insecurities, it's going to show up in my kids. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to show up in them.
I've been seeing a lot where they've been talking about the parents and predominantly the women. You know, everything is the goddamn woman's fault. But predominantly the woman and how her mental health was ultimately affects the child's dating life. And I've seen a couple different things where I watched what do you call it? Unsung.
Okay.
And the guy from Troop, the lead singer from Troop, he was talking about, like, he was so popular, he was so cute, like, everybody wanted to date him, but he had the lowest of the lowest of the lowest self-esteem. He never realized that he was carrying his mother's self-esteem until he got old enough to be like, I can't keep doing this. But he felt so guilty about how depressed she would be, how low she would be, so he would go to the low with her. He would sit in the dark with her. He would do these things to comfort his mother, but not necessarily realizing he's now absorbing this energy.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a real thing.
No. I kid you not. When I moved back with my mom in like 17, I stopped going to school. I would come home and just chill with her because I was scared to leave her.
Yeah, that's trauma though.
And her depression became my depression.
Just
sitting there brewing, and I'm like, what you know,
it's
that's crazy.
It's unfortunate.
I never thought about that till like right now.
Authoritative, make sure that it's a positive relationship. They explain and reason. They set rules and enforce, but take the child's feeling into consideration.
Maybe
they use praise and reward system, and they're usually happy and successful, is what they say. Now, uninvolved, they don't ask the child shit. It's not funny. But
I'm sorry.
Not about life, not about school. Like, you got to think about that type of stuff. You don't want, and it's such a icky place to be, especially when you're a teenager, right? You don't want your parent all in your business, but the older you get, you realize, like, damn, they didn't even ask me about my extracurricular activities. They never came to my games. They never did any of these things. So that stuff starts to funnel in, even though when you're younger, you think you want this new set of autonomy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But they don't care who you with. They don't care where you go. They don't spend much time with the children. And that causes anxiety. Now, these styles are composed of 4 main elements. And I added a couple of them on there. Y'all know I was going to do that. But empathy. Of course, if you have empathy, I think that you can implement any type of gentle parenting, because you want to understand how this is going to make this child feel. But when you're doing something, we need to understand why you did what you did, so we can make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yep.
Right? Respect. A lot of parents feel like, well, I don't have to respect my child. That's my child. But respect is earned and given. And if you're teaching your child to be respectful, why not show them some respect?
Yes.
In ways, that are age appropriate.
Yes.
And being very understanding of what your child might be going through. So I talk to parents a lot, and I often have to remind them. Remember, you were 16? Let's scoot it back a little bit. Remember when you were like 13, 12, 13? That's when the gumbo pot really gets to get mixed up, because your transition from adolescent to teenager or preteen to go to teenager, which ultimately is the next thing, is adulthood. So your body is going through all kinds of crazy shit, and parents are like, I don't know what's wrong with my child. You know what I'm saying? Let me just put them on some medication, and hopefully things will work itself out. Real talk. Setting boundaries with your child. Setting boundaries with everybody is important. So if you can sit down and really like articulate why you're doing the things the way you're doing it with your child, they may understand that this is a boundary that I can't cross.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And all this stuff is important. And within raising your child, there's the 3 C's of gentle parenting that's involved. And that's connection, communication, and consistency.
Oh, I like that connection.
Having a connection with them.
Uh-huh.
Having open communication with them.
Do you like talking to
and being very consistent? Because, you know, like in a relationship, right? What do they tell us? You get in a relationship, you set these boundaries. You say, these are the things that I will accept. These are the things that I will not accept. And then as soon as they overstep that line a little bit, you forgive. Mm-hmm. And then they put the other foot over the line. Mm-hmm. And then you forgive their ass again because you care about them and you love them and you want to see the best for them. But it's like once you lose that form of consistency, they can see that. Ooh, and the fact that they make it seem like kids they're not intelligent blows me. Like,
girl, them kids be looking at you like, what'd you say? What happened? Why you say it like that?
But even so, when you talk to people about kids right now, they make it seem like we were just the most unintelligent kids ever because, these kids now, they have the internet and they have social media. Yeah, they have things that are more accessible, but we had the encyclopedia.
Hell yeah.
If you still wanted to know something, there was still ways to look it up and there were still ways to be intelligent. But when you're born, and I say this to everybody, you have a brain. When you're in the stomach, your brain forms. Mm-hmm. And you get a lot of your brain matter from your mama, so just remember that. Mm-hmm. Now, why should we use gentle parenting? Listening, understanding, responding, communicating, respecting their child as an individual, as a human. It reduces stress and anxiety.
On both.
You're teaching, rather punishing, because it should be a lesson, right? Like, you know, like even when you punish somebody, it's like, you're going to learn your lesson. Mm-hmm. So where's the lesson in the punishment?
Exactly.
You have to find that. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, say if you got whooped a lot and your discipline was like from, you know, like getting hurt. When you find a relationship, you feel like, okay, that was love. So if someone was to hurt me, they really love me. Do you think that is like a cause and reaction to...
Like, do I think that happened?
Yes, or do you feel like that is, you know, that's why... Okay.
Yeah, especially if you saw domestic violence within the home, especially within your parents. So you think like, oh, well, my mom and dad, they're together, they love each other, they fight. This must be love. Unless you're directly talked to about the fact that this is not love. You know, you just automatically... You're a product of your environment sometimes. And sometimes you go the extreme opposite, like no, hell no, and fuck no. I'm not finna let nobody hit on me because that's just not what I think love is.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can, of course, form your own, you know, judgment because, like I said, all these children have a brain.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
It shows them how they should be behaving. During stress, we show frustration and irritability. So when you are stressed out and you're frustrated, stay calm, yet firm in your message. You still mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yes.
But this sets the tone for like positive growth and development, effective use of communication, and being emotionally aware.
Yes. I think the more people are more emotional aware, the more that we can actually grow, and the things that are happening now, it can get better. But we have to start it somewhere. We got to.
Yeah, that's true. You're true. So it also shows the child conflict resolution. Conflict resolution needs to be taught in school.
Man, at my school I was the conflict resolution manager.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. That's why I'm like, I know some of the things. I wish that I would implement them more.
Girl, you need to write out a whole thing on conflict resolution. You know, you were a conflict resolution manager.
Bro, my climates, Mac, where y'all at?
That's crazy. I didn't know that. It keeps you from the thin line of being abusive. You don't want to be abusive to your child.
No, I don't want to be verbally or physically or emotionally.
Any type.
I don't want to be none of those. But I know that I have done some of those things.
Cassandra said she was in conflict resolution in high school too. Get out of here. We didn't have conflict resolution in high school. They talking about what's up, Oakland?
Hey.
It helps them with their own inner voice, right? It helps them to be able to carry that through life, because you do hear things that your parents said, like when you get, you know, it guides them instead of controlling them. You know, like, this is what you're gonna do. Even though I heard a video today, and I can't think of his name. He's an old school rapper, and he was talking about the power of being given a direction, being guided, being kind of told something. So he went down the line. He was like, Tiger Woods was told about what he was gonna do with golf at a young kid. Michael Jackson was told what type of music, you know, how to do music, and now he's the greatest performer ever. And these are his words, right? He was like, who else did he say? He said, he said Venus and Serena Williams. So he was like, sometimes when you give your child some direction, they can be very successful. So I do see them guiding them, and that made me think about when I was telling y'all, like, if I was to ever have kids, right, we would sit down and we would create a plan of what do you want to be, because I know that's going to probably change a couple times throughout your life. That's natural. But what do you want to be right now, right? You could say, I want to be a unicorn rock star, right? And I'm going to support you in that. But these are the 5 to 7 careers that can be your investors, because I don't have the money to just send you out to be a unicorn rock star. But if you go to school for one of these things that I would like for you to look at, you could pick and choose what you want to do. But you need to do something that's lucrative for you to be able to set you luckily. And I guess it really doesn't matter. I used to always say that.
But no, that is very, very much true, because the way that I'm teaching my boys, my kids, hey, where do you want to live? How do you want to live? You can do whatever you want to do. But if you're not comfortable, I'm telling you, you're not going to, if you underneath the bridge, you're going to get real quick. Like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be able to, because you're only focused on this. So it is definitely much so just trying to get them to understand life.
Mac House made me. Y'all funny. So encouraging instead of demanding. But let's just talk about this. Do you think that it works, gentle parenting?
I do. I really do. But I also feel like what you said about consistency, what you said about having it's multi-layered. It has to be. We have to be able to, again, get ourselves in order, our emotions in check.
Absolutely.
It is us. It is us, because that's what spews out to them. I can't tell him, like, I need y'all to come and stop what you're doing and do something for me. Wait a minute. I didn't want to do that when, again.
Come and get the remote. And
it's right there. Oh, I used to hate that. And tell, like, get your fat ass up. That's how I got my ass whooped, because I talked a lot of shit.
Did you?
In my mind, sometimes it would spew out. Because it was like, it was annoying that, like, they would ask you to do these things that they were capable of doing, and it was right there. I used to think, like, oh, we're just kids. You just had us to make slaves. That's some do. That's how I
think that you have to, communication works well. We know that communication is the key to a lot of things. So I think that if you are, firm, fair, and consistent with respect,
yes,
mean what you say and say what you mean, and stand on that, But I do definitely feel like if you're going to be doing gentle parenting, you have to start at a young age, right?
Yeah, you can't
because
start at 13.
We already know the developmental age is between 0 and 3. So now you have this kid when they're in their terrible twos. You're like, little John, he's so bad. He's so bad or whatever. And you think it's cute that John is bad as hell at 2 years old, and you're not giving any type of corrective, parenting.
Yeah, you think it's cute. Like,
and now when they 4 and 5, you see them acting out at school, and you're not really different. You want to, like, punish them. Now you want to take their phone away.
Yeah.
Now you want to do all these things, and they like, whoa. Like, how you going?
Exactly.
Mama, who are you? Now they feel like they bigger than you. They feel like they can buck up at you and all of that. But
Thank God that ain't happened. I'm blessed.
I think that you also have to be very crafty. You have to know your kid's personality each, and you have to do things that are like, you have to always be 10 steps ahead of them, because they smart. Smart. They're humans. Like they know what's up, and they pay attention to their surroundings. They're paying attention to more stuff than you even can imagine that they're paying attention to.
Girl, so, if you at the odds with you and your mate, they'll see that too.
Oh, they watch.
And they'll play that shit. They'll play, and they'll know who to ask. They'll know they can start a whole ass argument for their own gameful reasons. It'd be like, God damn, them motherfuckers.
Put y'all against each other for some chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. That is true.
But I always say that teaching kids about behaviors and consequences is key. Not like, I told you what to do and this is why you need to do it, but teaching them about the consequences of life overall, like in general. And I always tell the kids that I be talking to, like, you want to really probably listen to your mom and your dad, because you don't want to go outside and somebody makes you listen to them. Because there's people out there that can make you listen, and you don't want them in your life, in your,
the government.
I ain't say no names.
That was the biggest thing.
Make you listen.
Yes, I was like, so you didn't listen to your mama, and you were really mean to her, and you wanted to do what you wanted to do, and now you have to do what they're telling you to do while you're in jail.
Anyway, and now you want your mama to come visit you. You weren't cool, right?
Yes.
So here's some of the challenges. Of course, we got to go to the challenges, and then we're going to get to some tips of how you could actually implement your gentle parenting. So your child definitely, if your methods are not solid, they probably will rebel. Boundaries, the issue. Knowing your triggers, knowing their triggers, because they have triggers too. And like I said, remember, each child is individual and they're unique, so everybody doesn't have the same exact triggers. Dealing with their negative behavior, which includes defiance, aggression, lack of self-control, anger, frustration, acting out. To me, I would say like emotional geniuses, because sometimes they don't know how to articulate their emotions or navigate their emotions. But like you just said, like if they're paying attention to what's going on in the house, and if I know how to turn this cry on, well, you learn that as a baby. If I cry, they'll feed me. If I cry, they'll change my pamper. So that's learned. And if it's like, well, I've been playing on my mom and dad this whole entire time, they think they're a genius at the shit.
Man, they think they stealth mode. They like
a master manipulator.
007.
Yes. And I always use the term cookies, because it's like, okay, well, mama told me no, but if I go in here and I say this to my dad's probably going to tell me yes.
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah. So, and then the main one is lack of self-care for the parents. You get to a place where you are not caring for yourself. How can you properly care for your kids? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if your self-care is on the ground zero, but you're like, okay, kids, this is what we got to do, and like you said, now you frustrated, you just spilling out all over them, and they like, what's wrong with you? You haven't taken a day for yourself. And I know it has to be done. Now, for my humans, I said, I know people like to have sex. We've had this debate several times. But you do have to know that when you have a baby, you're raising a human. You're creating an adult. You're grooming your seed to be a person out there in the world and a part of society, right? And this is your child. This is how they show up in the world. So you're showing them how to cope, how to love or lack thereof, how to be in a relationship or not be in a relationship. But if you would like to use the gentle parenting, we do have some tips.
All right.
For you. And I was just thinking about these off the dome, and it rolled right. Be kind to yourself, parents. Be kind to yourself. Say good, nice things to yourself. Affirm yourself. the things that you need to do to pour back into you. That's it. Gotta set before you get out of bed and give yourself 2 to 3 minutes to affirm yourself. Whatever. Be kind to yourself. Say nice words to yourself. Talk about the time. Get down and actually figure out what kind of parent do I want to be. A lot of parents out here often so much like, well, there is no book and we just be winging it, and it's like, why are you winging it? I know life happens, and your children are humans, so things will happen differently with them. But if you really know, like, I want my child to be very loving, how would you want to implement that, right? Read up on parenting. There's books. Like they just said, that the internet is out there. Everything is out there. Like, you can read up on it. Read on different parenting styles. Read on parenting skills. Read on tips on how to be a better parent. You could Google it and see what comes up and take what you can take and leave what you need to leave. And know why you want to be a gentle parent. Like, why do I want to do this? What is my goal of being a gentle parent to my child, right? Creating rules and boundaries. Really think about that. Like, I have this baby, you have this child that is acting up at the school, and you go to the school and you acting up at the school. How do you want them to show up in the world? You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? How compassionate would you like for them to be? How would you like them to handle the emotions? How effective in communication would you like them to be? How would you like them to show love and kindness and respect? That is, respect is a thing. Yeah. Be involved. Be involved with your kids.
Know your
and that
kids.
means emotionally available. That means responsive. That means supportive. And figure out how they want to be supported, how they need to be supported. This baby yesterday told her mama, just give me a hug and tell me that you love me. It could be that simple, and you're so busy with the bills and this and work and drama, and the light's about to get cut off, you forget to hug your baby and say, I love you. It affects them. And one of the things, guys, we talk about all the shit that's going on in the world, right? You on social media, like, girl, look at this video, look at this crazy shit, and look at this and look at that, right? Just think about how it affects you, and then think about how much it affects your child, because they in this world right with you. Most parents act like they're here and their kids are over there. No, they're right here in their world with you. When I hear parents say a child needs to stay in their space or their place, I'm like, well, they live with you, so where is their place?
You do say that.
I mean, parents be getting mad at me, and especially the ones who like, well, you ain't even got no kids. We can argue about that later. But the effects are definitely affecting these kids. And no matter how old you think they are, or how much you think that they may not be paying attention, they're paying attention, and they're being affected. Even though that they don't come and say, Mama, did you see this crazy video? It was really sad, and it made me feel sad. They still probably felt sad, and they kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you guys are, very, very compassionate with these kids while they're going through this transition. And let's try to figure out what type of children we want them to be, what kind of adults we want them to be, because that's what we're praying for them to grow to be anyway.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Healthy, happy adults. Well, that's our show. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Hopefully these tips help.
Love y'all. Take tips. Y'all got some tips for us. Bring them. Especially parents already trying, already know you're in the game. Whatever you have to help somebody else out, let's all help each other. It's simple. You got it.